It's the middle of October and I've started to think about Christmas and the kinds of gifts that I like to make. And today we're going to be making a peanut brittle, and you can use any kind of nut that you have on hand, almonds, pecans, walnuts, whatever, and it makes a delicious brittle that your friends will enjoy. Welcome to Cooking and Storing with Ann and Wayne. We hope that you will enjoy this video today, and if you do, click on like, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, ring the little bell so you'll continue to get our videos. So let's get started with this peanut brittle. This recipe is made entirely in your microwave, so you might have to do some adjustments to the time depending on the wattage of your microwave. Most built-in microwaves are 800 to 1200 wattage. And so if you have a lower wattage, it's going to take a little longer. If you have a higher wattage, it'll take a little less time. Mine is 1000 watts, so you can get an idea of the time that you might need based on that. But I'll give you a little time range for you to work with. The first thing we're going to do is take a cup of sugar and a half a cup of corn syrup, and I grease the inside of this cup with some butter, so most seasoned cooks know that trick on how much easier it'll come out of your cup if you grease it with a little butter. We're just going to stir this together. And we're going to put this in the microwave on high for 4 minutes. And then we just wait for that to cook for 4 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. So our first step in our process has completed. We're going to take our sugar and syrup mixture out of the oven. We're going to pour in a cup of nuts. And like I said, today we're using peanuts, but it's just a matter of personal preference. Whatever your family or friends enjoy, that's what you can go with. Now in this next step, depending on your microwave, it should take from anywhere from 2.5 to 5 minutes. In my microwave, it takes 3. And again, mine is 1000 watt microwave. So we're going to put it in for 3 minutes. And what we want it to look like when we take it out is a nice light caramel color. About almost the color of peanut brittle, but not quite that dark, because we're going to be adding in some more ingredients. Okay, we've completed our second step of our recipe. We're going to take this out of the oven and give it a quick stir. We're going to add in a teaspoonful of vanilla and a teaspoonful of butter. Make sure that that's incorporated well into your nuts and sugar. And this mixture is really hot, so be very careful when you're mixing. I want you to see the color. You can see it's kind of a caramel color. And we're going to put it back in the microwave now for 2 minutes. We're almost finished. Now we're ready to move on to the last step of our process. I'll show you again the color. It's gotten a little deeper caramel color. Now we're going to stir in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And it's going to foam up. Hope you can see how that's foamed. And we're going to pour it onto a prepared baking sheet. I just buttered this baking sheet to keep it from sticking. And you want to work fairly quickly. Try to get it, spread it into a thin layer, because this starts to cool fairly rapidly. The hardest thing about making this recipe is cleaning your bowl when you're finished, because this stuff sets up like cement. But if you put hot water in it, it will melt it. At this stage, your peanuts should be a kind of a toasty brown color. And this takes about 30 minutes to cool completely. And when it has cooled, we'll come back and I'll show you how easy it is to break this into pieces. This would make a wonderful teacher's gift. Put it in a pint mason jar with a pretty little ribbon and let your child decorate it with stickers or whatever. But it's also a nice gift, you know, for friends, family, whoever. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Okay, so we've had our peanut brittle on a cooling rack for a little bit, and by greasing your pan really well, it just slides off. And now all you have to do is break it into the size pieces that you want. And you can hear how it snaps. So it's very brittle. You want to store it in an airtight container. If air gets to it over a period of time, it'll get kind of sticky and it won't be as brittle. So put it in a plastic airtight container, or you can put it in jars with lids that you can tighten down. There you go. It's that simple. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Here's wishing you good food, safe storing, and happiness.